This is ESPN 95.3. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
But hold on, it's almost halftime.
Hey, beautiful day. Got a baseball game later on this evening, Arkansas State. I remember when we used to have a conversation years ago about why would Arkansas ever schedule anything like this? And now you're kind of used to it. Not the shine is off of the event, but the novelty of it is over, at least for now. There'll be novelty in 2024 when the Razorback football team plays Arkansas State for the first time. Well, there just isn't any more novelty to it. And instead of talking about the idea, well, what happens if Arkansas were to lose to either UALR, Arkansas State, or UCA, or UAPB, now the conversation is, how bad are they going to beat them by? That's turned into the facts of just about every time a Razorback team has played against any of the in-state schools. And that'll be a theme that we get into later on today here on Halftime. There'll be we'll try to get through the next couple of hours without any Mexican pizza talk, although I guess I should say we just did it for like 5 seconds there. I got more tweets, more texts about that again. So apparently this is like, Drew, Matty, this is like your go-to place for fast food news and all the hot topics involving the world's most nutritious meals. So I'm not sure which direction to take this thing, because people apparently want to hear fast food talk here on Halftime, which sometimes we're your place for hit music and all your great requests. Most of the time we're talking Razorback athletics. Sometimes there's marrying advice and that kind of stuff, and apparently we're the fast food show too.
Matty, I thought you had something to say there.
Oh, no.
You go first.
You can't put us in a box. I mean,
Sure, you can put the food in a box. Yeah. Why can't you put us in a box?
I mean, Phil tried to make his own Mexican pizza, and it just wasn't the same. I mean, you can't recreate the meat, whatever that weird red sauce that's on there. So, yes, we are going to talk more about the Mexican pizza today. I'm doing it right now.
I didn't even put it on the rundown.
I mean, how long do we have to discuss it? Because like I said yesterday, I've never had one before. I'll try it when it comes back, just to not be apparently the weirdo of the show, because I've never had one and don't
You're
hold
the
this
weirdo of the show
I don't
for
have
many,
this special,
many reasons.
Well, thank
Drew.
you. Thank you.
That's just
but the
maybe
fact
because you're the most regular out of the three of us.
The fact that I don't have this special love and admiration for a Mexican pizza, which, I mean, just the title of it doesn't really even make any sense.
Wow, this is actually a special day because it's April 19th, which marks 1 month until it returns. We have exactly 1 month, because May 19th is when it returns. So,
I thought you were going to say it's one day before April 20th, which is also supposed to be a special day.
Why? Which
fast food?
I'm sure Taco Bell's going to clean up tomorrow.
Is well versed in.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Sure you don't.
I feel so. We've just satisfied everybody's craving for the fast food talk. We can move on to other.
We're done.
Now.
We're done for the day.
It's like there are better things on the menu potentially, and I think you might actually have a better baseball team right now in 2022. With right now the number 3 team in the country, according to the coaches poll, number 4, I think, in most of the other polls, than you might have had in 2021 when Arkansas was ranked number 1 for, I can't remember how long the streak was that they were ranked first in the country. I think it was at least 10 weeks, because I think they went into SEC play number 1 in at least 1 or 2 of the polls. But anyway, I mean, you know the story of last year. You won every series. You're number 1, first to finish. And you had the best player in all of college baseball, and things fell one rung short of making it to Omaha. So I have a sense here at the same moment last year where you had the same conference record, 11 wins, 4 losses. even with a series loss. Same conference record as last year. And not as many wins against other, like top-level opponents, and that's because of the loss to Stanford, and you didn't play the Big 12 schools that you played in Texas last year. You didn't go on the road to Louisiana Tech. You didn't go on the road anywhere in non-conference last year. There were 3 neutral games, and last year there was, a more robust non-conference schedule, and there was a more robust conference schedule when you look at everywhere that they played on the road. With that said, same conference record. And there feels like there's more. It's not that it feels like now. I have to stop putting it in these terms. Drew, Maddie, there is more depth for the pitching staff on this team.
I mean, it's just clear-cut. It's a fact. I mean, you're not relying on one guy to save the day night in and night out. You have multiple different guys, and you have more of a traditional pitching staff than you did last year, where you can trust your 4 or 5 starters to go 6+ innings a night. Then you can trust your setup guys, and then you can trust your closer to get the job done. And whereas last year, everybody outside of Kevin Kopps was pretty much a wild card. So I'd say that makes you a better, well-rounded team right there, because pitching is a very big aspect of the game. It's one of the big 3, obviously. I mean, pitching, fielding, and hitting. And then when you talk about the competition that Arkansas has to face this year, it does feel a little bit down from last year. And one, it's because some of your heavy hitters still left on the schedule aren't as heavy of hitters anymore. Yes, you have A&M coming in, and they're having a decent year this year, but they weren't really expected to be where they are right now. And the ultimate team there that has really underperformed and isn't as big of a matchup when it comes to rankings, well, that's Mississippi. I mean, they've poo-pooed the bed thus far this season, and it feels like there's not that many marquee games left. There's not many that series where you circle and you're highlighting it and you're like, I have to go to this one. If there's one game to go to, it's this one.
Yeah, it's because they don't have well, I mean, look, Ole Miss and Vandy haven't been winning at the same rate that I think was expected when the season started. Who would have known that here with 5 weeks left in the SEC season, so you're at the halfway point, that your toughest series now are on the road at A&M with a first-year head coach in Jim Schlossnagle and a team that's doing really well. And at Auburn, and a team that has kind of broken through right now, along with Alabama, and that's the other team that you're playing in these last 5 weeks on the road. You get Ole Miss at home, you get Vandy at home, and it's not anything against those 2 teams, because those are more than the brand-name college baseball programs than the 3 that I just mentioned.
But they're not playing at the level that we expected them to
exactly
coming into
right.
the year.
And they're not. But there is more stability. There's more stability to this team. And I mean, like last year, you had Patrick Wicklander as your starting pitcher, and then a couple of openers and Kevin Kopps to take it the rest of the way, with a little mix in here from Ryan Costu and a couple other pitchers, but that was it. And an explosive offense that you really kind of rested your hopes of making it to Omaha on slugging a ton of home runs, making the plays in the field, and Kevin Kopps being Superman. And you don't have a Superman right now. You have a pretty darn super pitching staff, which means that there's a little bit more stability, and there are more options, that you don't ever have to ride one pitcher's arm too heavily. That was kind of a point yesterday in the first segment, talking about Zach Morris emerging for at least one good outing, but not just one good outing, 2 1/3 innings on a weekend in the SEC is tough to get through when you have only made one appearance in the conference all year. And to see Evan Taylor pitch on back-to-back days, you have left-handed options, and you have right-handers that are good against lefties too. Like, one of the things that is that it's kind of in the weeds on the statistics on how on what makes the Arkansas pitching staff good is 2 things. One, get a lot of ground balls. It's tough to get the ball in the air against them, and this is still, no matter who you're playing in the SEC, everybody hits for power, and it's tough to get the ball in the air against them. And they're tough on lefties, very tough on lefties. 4th lowest batting average against in the conference when it comes to how you handle lefties. But it's not just the batting average and the on-base percentage against lefties, which is very low against this pitching staff. You can't hit them for power. There's just not a lot of power against for left-handed batters against this Arkansas team. And a lot of the great hitters in baseball are left-handed. And the switch hitters usually are better lefty than they are righty. Certainly they are when it comes to hitting for power. That was one aspect of the last series against LSU that was huge. They were able to switch Jacob Berry, one of the top hitters in the nation, and will be probably a top 10 pick in the draft, a switch hitter, who's a good hitter right-handed but doesn't hit for any power right-handed. They switched him right-handed late in the game twice, and that totally changes things, completely changes. One time he comes up, he's the tying run. That makes a huge difference with your ability to switch a switch hitter to right-handed and feel really good about your chances to get him out, even with your lefties. So there's more stability even in some of the small things, like your ability to control left-handed power, but those things aren't small. Once you get into the postseason, those things are huge. And these are reasons why there's more stability for this team. I mean, one thing I would like to see that I don't really like, you got to do it sooner or later. We haven't necessarily seen it on a grand level. Last year's team did come from behind on a routine basis because they did trail quite a bit. It's one of the reasons Kevin Kopp's record was what it was, because he came on with the game on the line, and sometimes that was the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. They scored a lot in the 8th inning because they had to. This year's team kind of puts games away in the 7th and 8th innings because the pitching staff has been so good at controlling teams offensively. Certain in the SEC they have. I just feel like right now you could actually ask the question: is the 2022 Arkansas baseball team better than the 2021 baseball team? And we've got the full season from last year to go by. You still got another 5 regular season weeks this year, and you feel like the team's growing and getting better on an incremental basis.
You do feel like they are growing and getting better, but I feel like still if you ask that question to most Razorback fans, the love and appreciation for those comeback wins last year, for the big timely long bomb hits, for Kevin Kopp's, I still think, and the fact that you did sit at number 1 for as long as you didn't lose a single series. I think most people, even after hearing those facts, would go, yeah, those are great points, but they would keep constantly follow it up with a but. And I think you're right. When you have more stability and you don't need a Superman type of guy in Kevin Kopp's, because while Superman's great, he's eventually going to run into kryptonite. There's essentially going to be something that's going to stop him. There's going to be some way to beat him, and if that is your only weapon, if that is your only option, then you're screwed. You have no other way to go, or no other person or pitcher or player to turn to if that happens. This team has shown over and over again that whether it's timely hitting, whether it's pitching, next man up, next guy up, a different player can do it at any given time. And as soon as everybody seems to click and get on the same page, this team's going to be unstoppable. I think most people still, because of those memories of those great home runs and Kevin Kopp's being so dominant in their mind, I still think a lot of people would say 2021's better.
Now, I'm not making my reservations in Omaha just yet, but this time last year I started thinking about it. So let's wait for another weekend, go on the road at A&M, see what happens. Oh yeah, by the way, let's see what happens these next 2 days first against Arkansas State, a team that has won 2 in a row over Little Rock after losing their first 12 conference games. This is an Arkansas State team that, well, let's put it this way. They've committed 55 errors. Arkansas's hit 53 home runs. Those two numbers, when they match from opponents, things could get a little bit ugly tonight. And I don't mean the weather, because that's tomorrow. 877-377-6963. We'll talk Arkansas football after the break, but we've also got Alyssa Orange, bottom of the hour from Pig Trail Nation, and Bubba Carpenter is forcing his way onto the program in hour number 2. Stay with us.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Great people, great equipment, great opportunities. That is what you get at Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, Arkansas, with locations at Russellville and Van Buren, with regional OTR and local opportunities for qualified CDL drivers. Make up to $95,000 annually and be a part of a team that embraces the concept of family. Patriot Transport wants you to be successful on the road and at home, working with every driver to ensure they get the miles they want and the family time at home they strive for. Patriot Transport, more than trucking, it's family. Visit patriottransport.com to apply.
Finding your niche is key to making it in today's world. Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. I found my niche in the NFL for 10 years as a long snapper. Now I have found my niche with Henderson Phillips, helping business owners and executives get the most value for the top dollar on employee benefits. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call or text me today at 479-651-2292. That's 479-651-2292.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Save thousands during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 350 new and pre-owned vehicles were damaged during the recent storm, and now over $1 million in discounts will be passed on to Harry Robinson's customers. Some of the damage is really minor, but the savings are severe. Plus, there are still lots of vehicles that were not damaged in stock. Save thousands on your next vehicle during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City!
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else but not for me. Love was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointing haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Olsen, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Just his versatility and just the mismatch that he creates. I mean, coming from as a receiver and still having that receiver mindset, just being able to get the ball and make plays and make guys miss in space. I mean, that's the main thing. I consider him a flex tight end because we still can line him up outside the receiver and maybe a linebacker come out there on him or a nickel or something like that. And, I mean, with the size he has and the hands that he has, he's still a mismatch problem. So
I'm weighing about 240. put on about 20 pounds. It's pretty hard, but, you know, got to keep eating. That's really the biggest thing is eating and eating, especially when you get in times like this and you're going and going. You have to eat or I'll lose weight. Transition has been very, very fun. I love playing tight end. I think I can make a lot of money playing tight end. So I've been having my fun with it and, you know, just going to see what it does this next season. Oh, it started last season when I made the transition. I was weighing about like 217. So what I was focusing on was just stuffing my face with food, basically. Just trying to gain any and every pound that I could through the course of the season. And then after the season, hit the weight room hard, eating a lot of calories, just trying to pack on some weight, and you know, I feel pretty good.
Talking about Trey Knox there. You heard KJ Jefferson first speaking and then Trey himself. I don't know what it is. I always like hearing, you know, the players talk about what they do to put on weight, which of course always involves just massive amounts of food at the Jones Center or wherever else they can get it. And then the look on their face when they talk about it, it's like this is something you'd think you would enjoy. Not everybody always enjoys having food thrusted in their faces when they would rather make the decision themselves. But then again, not all of us know what it's like to move from a position that you're a little slimmer to a position where you've got the size and you've got the frame and the body type to put that weight on, and then see if you can. The other look that I loved on his face, Drew, was the look on Trey's face when he mentioned the kind of money he thinks he could make at tight end, because maybe he could too.
Yeah, maybe he can. He does have the body size. He's shown that he has the ability to do it. Will he become a bigger target this year than he was last year? Only time will kind of tell. See how he fits in Kendall Briles' offense. But when it comes to gaining weight like that and maintaining weight, you talk to any former offensive lineman, and they almost hate food at some points in their lives. Like, it is a job. It's a chore. It's like us anyone in the corporate world having to fill out paperwork. Nobody likes to fill out paperwork. They become almost that way when it comes to eating food, which food is just so good. It should never become a chore, but that's what it becomes when you have to keep that body mass up. You have to stay above a certain weight, and God bless them. I don't know if I could ever be able to look at a plate of food as a job.
This is like you with a Mexican pizza.
Well,
oh God, I guess I'll try one.
I guess I'll try.
Or I'll force it down.
Well, I guess, you know, it's different if you're trying to maintain a level of around 300. Well, you got to do that once a segment now. If you're going to try to maintain like 300 pounds or something. But Trey Knox, like when he showed up on campus, his weight was 205. 205 at 6'4". He was a spindle. And now when you even just look at him on the press conference, it's like this is a much different looking dude. And he doesn't look, you know, bad. He looks good.
He looks built.
He does. He looks very built. And still has the same hands and route running ability, but now a little bit more size. And you remember sometimes last year, like he would line up at tight end and he would do his best on blocking, but it's just not quite the size, you know, but now he's got it. This is going to be really interesting, and I think a lot of fun to watch Trey Knox play at tight end this year. Also, you know, Malik Hornsby is a big topic. Apparently, he and KJ have been connecting on a lot of deep routes in practice, and KJ says he's got a special nickname for him.
We call him Tyreek Hill. I mean, just his speed that he brings, and just, I mean, ain't too many guys in college can run with Malik. So just being able to put him out there and just let him go be an athlete, just let him go play. So having a guy like that out on the field, and he play quarterback as well, so it give the defense something to look at, like, hey, it's two quarterbacks, something not right. But, I mean, just being able to give him the ball and just let him play and just let him have fun.
It's the last few words that KJ just said there that I think means I can't get into Malik Hornsby's mind, but this was something we brought up yesterday with Connor O'Gara. Like, how much fun is it to stand around on the sideline waiting for an opportunity for a trick play or, you know, to get involved in special teams or for KJ to get hurt, which nobody wants.
No.
And to be able to go out on the field and show what you really are best at. What makes Malik Hornsby a special athlete is that speed.
He's fast.
He's incredibly fast. And it's more fun to just be on the football field, right? Like,
yeah. Regardless of where you're playing, it's just more fun to play then watch. I mean, if somebody gave me a helmet right now and my body could do it, I'd much rather go out to play football than watch it any day of the week. But when it comes to Malik Hornsby, is it time for his future and for his benefit to possibly give up on playing quarterback? And I never want to be that guy that says, oh, well, he's too fast to play quarterback or he's too small, because I think great quarterbacks can come in all shapes and sizes. But when you're playing with a guy like KJ Jefferson, who is a clear-cut quarterback,
and a clear-cut QB1 and
exactly.
clear-cut, one of the top three quarterbacks in this league.
Exactly. So unless you're Malik Hornsby, who did enter the transfer portal, if your goal is to be a quarterback, I don't know if you have enough time to truly prove that here at Arkansas. But you do have time to prove that you're a special athlete. You do have time to prove that you can play some slot receiver. You do have time to prove that you have the agility to make guys miss. You have time to prove that, which can lead to a long, successful NFL career. I just don't know if he has enough time to prove that he could be a quarterback at the professional level.
You also don't have the depth at the position right now to risk moving him out of that position completely. Because Lucas Coley went into the transfer portal, and that means you're down to South Florida transfer Cade Fortin, which I don't know much about Cade Fortin, but he's a walk-on, and I don't think that he may end up getting a scholarship. I don't think he's right now going to be the top backup for this team. Now, moving forward, potentially, and that might also have to do with exactly how involved Hornsby is in the Kendall Briles offense near the beginning of the season. And also if you bring in another quarterback.
Yeah.
That still could happen.
It definitely could. You still have plenty of time to bring a guy in through and have him work all the way through summer up to the fall. But right now, it almost feels like Arkansas is putting Malik Hornsby between a rock and a hard place. They say, we want your speed, we want your agility, we want you to do this, but we also need you to stay healthy enough to play backup, to be a backup quarterback in case KJ Jefferson gets hurt. Well, that means he's not going to have enough reps on the field. He's not going to get the opportunities to show scouts what he can do because it's going to be limited. So it's almost, we want you to do this, but we can't have you do too much of it because we might need you to do that.
Well,
it's like,
I think that's how they got him to come back to campus anyway.
It's a catch-22 situation. I mean,
think that's how they got him out of the transfer portal anyway. Is you get a kid who wanted to play quarterback, who went into the portal and for half a day, and then was convinced, we'll let you play quarterback still. I don't think it was we need you to play quarterback. It was we'll let you play quarterback too. And oh, by the way, we need you to also think about maybe running some routes, and we'll mix these two things together. And this is also a reality of the current state of college sports, that in college football you might have had to let your, convince your backup quarterback that you're going to let him still be a quarterback in order to keep him on campus. I think that's what they had to tell him.
I think they might have, but I don't think that in the broad scheme of things, it's what's best for Malik Hornsby.
Oh, you're probably right. You're probably right.
He's not gonna show anybody at the next level what he can do at either one if he's not able to do either one for a long time or a lot of reps.
First things first, keep him on campus, then convince him if it is going in that direction, then convince him this is your future. Keep him here, keep the athleticism here, and then convince him where or let him decide where that future will lie when and if it becomes obvious, which I don't know if it is yet, but maybe it will be. We're going to take a break. We're talking next with Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation on Halftime.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good Thing Dent Source, LLC, is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleets. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street across from Play It Again Sports or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Vivid Seats. Your ticket to hold on to your hat, edge of seat sitting, bases loaded, 2 outs, half-court buzzer-beating, 60-yard Hail Marys. Hear that pin dropping? Can they do it? They did! For your team, it was nothing. Get tickets and earn rewards with Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
In today's world, slow internet equals a bad day. If you're in a rural area, you've experienced this way too often. Online meetings, schoolwork, enjoying family movie night, it's downright impossible. The solution? Fast fiber internet from Wave Rural Connect. Service is available near Uniontown, Van Buren, Pecola, Cass, Ozone, Altus, and many other areas. Check to see if it's available for you at waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Always online at randallford.com. Audrey, the sign I'm looking at right now is America's 4th oldest Ford dealership. And with 4 generations of the Randall family being a part of this community, man, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely right. Like you said, man, the sign says 4th oldest Ford dealership in the U.S., guys. There's a reason we've been here that long. We've been doing business great. You know, you get that family experience when you come in here. You know, I've worked at other dealerships. You don't get the kind of experience you get here. You can tell they care about you, and you know, you're like family.
For you to have moms, daughters, sons, grandpas, you also get different family members that because one of their family members has come to see you, another one does as well.
Yeah, exactly. You got, you know, generations of family members buying their vehicles here, and then they tell the story about, you know, how good it was, and then they come back. So it's just a great place to be.
Come by and see him today, Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Always online, randallford.com.
Everyone loves great Tex-Mex. The best Tex-Mex around is at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Tex-Mex brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, pork belly tacos, and the best fajitas in town. And when the Hogs are on TV, it's always half-price apps and taps. Your favorite drinks and the best Tex-Mex in town is at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome here back on Halftime. Alyssa Orange joining us from Pig Trail Nation. Good to give us some of her time each Tuesday. Alyssa, what's going on? How are you?
Great, guys. I'm doing well. First and foremost, I have to say congratulations to Drew for getting engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Big deal, my man. And, I'm just sitting here on Twitter scrolling through all the Freddie Freeman hugs from last night, getting all the feels. So
You enjoy
thanks
that,
for breaking
huh?
that up for me.
You enjoyed
it was
that.
so
Are you,
cute.
Were you okay with
It
the
was so
trade?
cute.
Are you okay with trading essentially Kenley Jansen for Freddie Freeman?
It broke my heart, but yeah, I'm okay.
I guess so. Or what? Were you okay with Clayton Kershaw coming out after 7 perfect innings? I know he didn't do anything near that yesterday.
Look.
There was a Japanese pitcher that threw a perfect game last week, and then Sunday they took him out after 8 perfect innings. So we've got it happening on both sides of the Pacific Ocean.
Look, sometimes the analytics are ruining baseball, and I understand, and I'm not going to go after Dave or Clayton because you said Clayton wanted to come out between 80 to 85 pitches, but he's Clayton Kershaw, and there's only been 23 of these, ever. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, all right. Well, you sound like a fan about it. You can't look at
Of
it
course.
necessarily the same way that you might with Arkansas baseball. So let me just posit a question that I posited at the start of the show, and I might have even answered it myself. Is the 2022 Arkansas baseball team better than 2021? Got the same conference record.
Whew. Oh, man. I'm going to say yes, and it's because of the depth that they have at pitching. And I think that is going to, in the long run, play better dividends than the 2021 team, who, in my opinion, I felt like towards the end of the season in that North Carolina State series specifically, you had to have more than Kevin Kopps. And as fantastic as Kevin Kopps was, you needed more in your pitching tank to be successful in Omaha, and I don't think that they had that like they do this year with the way that Connor Nolan and Hagen Smith and Jackson Wiggins are pitching. I mean, that is a rotation that has not changed since the start of the season, and that has been impressive. It's interesting, Phil, the last Golden Spikes Award winner that Arkansas had was Andrew Benintendi before Kevin Kopps on that 2015 team, and that team went to Omaha but lost 2 and went home. I don't necessarily know if that team was great either. They just had a superstar, and that's kind of how I feel about that 2021 team.
Yeah, Alyssa, I think that you and Phil earlier made a lot of the same arguments. I think y'all are right, but I do feel like most people would still, because of the great memories, the timely hits, the Kevin Kopps story, most people still would pick that 2021 team over this 2022 team. And unfortunately, there's just not many more opportunities for this team to kind of prove them wrong, because there aren't that many high matchups left, because Ole Miss and Vandy aren't playing as well as they are. I mean, who's really going to get up to play against Alabama and Auburn and LSU? So is that a detriment, kind of, because there's not as many highlight chances for them this year as there were last year?
Well, you win a national title at the end of the year, and then all of that doesn't matter.
That
the
is
thing
true.
is, you take that 2021 team knowing you still lose to NC State in the super regionals and be okay with that. I'm still putting my money on this 2022 team because things have obviously yet to be proven, and maybe at the end of the season we can compare and contrast how far both teams got. But I know you want to hold on to everything great that happened in 2021 because so much happened that was exciting, and it was a heartbreaking season to see come to an end. But this 2022 team has got a lot going for them, and they're nowhere near their potential, in my opinion. So this is why we don't compare and contrast teams, because it's impossible, and no one is ever going to have the right answer.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. And you talk about potential, and we've been talking about it on this show for weeks now, that we still don't think that they've hit their stride. Mm-hmm. Is there enough time to hit their stride, or is this more of you might have to wait till next year for it to truly reach the pinnacle?
100%. Yes, there's totally room. And I, as someone who went to an ACC school, I watched a lot of ACC and followed baseball in the ACC outside of when I'm following Arkansas in the SEC. And NC State was not a great team. They were trying to get into the playoffs. They were a little up and down, but look at how they hit their stride. They come in and they beat the number one team in the country at their own ballpark at Baum-Walker Stadium in Arkansas. And then, quite frankly, you could argue they could have won a national title had the COVID stuff not come about in Omaha and Vandy get the pass and have to go play Mississippi State. So there's a whole lot of time to hit your stride and get hot. I mean, teams get hot just in general in Omaha. I mean, look a couple of years ago when Arkansas was there and lost 2 games and went home, but you have a Michigan team out of nowhere get hot, and Michigan's beating everybody. So, you know, you look at all the way in the Major League Baseball when the Nationals won the World Series a couple of years ago, they weren't very good until the postseason. And then all of a sudden, you know, they beat the Dodgers and they go on this run, and it was incredible to watch. They just got hot at the right time. So this is baseball. This isn't like football where you don't have a whole lot of games to get better, and you pretty much know who you are midway through the season. You might start winning a couple games here or there, but there's not a lot of time to do it. Baseball is a sport where you got to watch out and be on your toes at all time because anyone can get hot at any time.
Let's move over to football and the spring scrimmage indoor thing, whatever it was. Was there anybody that stood out to you? I mean, when I keep hearing a lot about Drew Sanders, man. I mean, I hear about his speed, about his moves, about his ability to get past the line of scrimmage, and I know that size, and I know how highly he was recruited, and you know, it just feels like once the season starts, like his abilities are really going to be on display.
Oh yeah, and everyone complimentary of him afterwards. You know, I'm gonna be honest, Phil. I was watching it from home, chasing around 2 kiddos. My husband was at the scrimmage, filming and stuff, and so I was trying to pay attention. And I think I can speak for a lot of Razorback fans. It's just hard to watch on TV, and it's because they moved it inside. That indoor is just really hard to get good camera angles. Anyways, unfortunately, the broadcast team had to be at the football stadium trying to figure out what's happening inside. So it was a little bit of a mess and a little hard to see things. So I don't know if anything stood out to me individually. Going back and watching, you can see a little bit of what people are talking about with Drew Sanders, but that's still hard to see on video and not be there in person. Obviously, the one thing I did notice was the wide receivers are dropping some balls. So maybe that's the one concern I might have with this team. But from all indications, this is a team that's clicking a lot better than they've been clicking in a long time. So that's exciting.
How involved do you think Malik Hornsby is going to be as a wide receiver? He is like the most discussed. It's not his position. It still isn't his position.
No.
He's listed as a quarterback on the roster, but he's the most discussed wide receiver right now on the team, and I think that includes Jaden Hasselwood.
Yeah, I bet it goes 50-50. I bet if we don't see him in the pocket 50% of the time, we'll see him lined up, you know, on the field, ready to run, you know, a post and see if he can beat some people. You know, I think this coaching staff has just realized, man, you got to get Malik Hornsby on the field, like in some form or fashion, some way, somehow. He's too athletic to be watching from the sidelines, and so I think that we're going to see him a lot. So 50-50 is my guess.
That's a lot higher of a guess than I would have given, because I think that there's too many question marks behind KJ Jefferson at the quarterback position. Do you think that, say maybe they do start out 50-50 to start the year, but then KJ might turn an ankle in practice and all of a sudden, and he might be nursing that just a little bit, not enough to keep him out of the game, not enough to keep him from being productive, but just enough to give the coaching staff a scare, and then we don't see Malik Hornsby for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's why I think, they might not admit it to us, but this Cade Fulton kid is maybe getting a ton of reps, and Malik will be QB2 listed on the depth chart. But I also think they probably know in the back of their mind, if Malik Hornsby gets hurt playing wide receiver, Cade Fulton might be QB2A and 2B, and they know that. But at the end of the day, you got to get Malik Hornsby on the field, so you're taking the risk that, your quarterback, if KJ Jefferson goes out and Malik Hornsby's running a route, he better be able to come over here and play quarterback, or you put Cade Fulton out there and you still have Malik Hornsby as a as a wide receiver. So, look, Kendall Briles gets paid a lot of money to figure all that stuff out, and I get to sit back and watch it unfold. So we'll see. But it's exciting. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Hey, Alyssa, I've got TV friends in Little Rock that are coming up here for this Arkansas State series. They're treating it like it's, like it's a big deal because anyone who's not from Northwest Arkansas or is not attached to the Razorbacks or is not necessarily a Razorback fan, certainly for Arkansas State, they're baseball fans. This is a big deal. How do you treat this as an organization in Pig Trail Nation that is Razorback centric? And the novelty of playing a lot of these teams in state is kind of over, except for when Arkansas and Arkansas State meet on the football field. I don't feel the novelty of it anymore.
Yeah, not really, because you're absolutely right. If Arkansas was only playing Arkansas State and not UCA or UAPB, it might be a little different. But they have played Little Rock and UCA and UAPB, and they played Arkansas State last year, so it's not new anymore. The big thing, all of us sit around and go, okay, they better be on their A game because they could get beat. I mean, we watched them get beat by Little Rock a couple of years ago at Baum-Walker Stadium. So, I think that's kind of the big thing is, how is this going to work out? Or is Arkansas State going to come in here guns a-blazing because they know that this is a big game for them? And beat Arkansas at home, that's what I'm looking for. But you're right. I mean, the novelty of it isn't there. It's just kind of exciting to get a midweek series game like this that you're playing an in-state school because there is a lot more energy than if you were just bringing, Grambling in here to play a midweek series. There are a lot of Arkansas State fans who have been waiting for things like this to happen, and that's who's excited about it, not Arkansas fans the other way around, in my opinion.
Well, A-State fans might want to worry what they're hoping for because they've been outscored this year by an average of like 3 runs per game, and that's a lot of baseball. So this might not be – I don't think it's going to be pretty tonight because none of the in-state games have been, but they've been fun. I'll say they've been fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Alyssa, we'll leave it there.
It'll be fun
Appreciate
to go down to Dick Stevens Park in a few weeks.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. In 1 week. I can't wait to go see
1 week. Gosh,
my former home. Yeah, and be able to go in my old booth and maybe even remember what it was like to take a nap in there because I know how to take a nap in that booth. You got that right. Thanks, Alyssa.
Anytime, guys. Thanks.
Thanks,
All right.
Alyssa.
We'll have Alyssa on with us next week, and we always appreciate her time. Hey, make sure that if you live in the Clarksville zone of Wave Rural Connect, and if you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, then you want to put this number down, 8334-WAVE-RC, or signup.waveruralconnect.com. So if you live in areas south of areas north and west of Clarksville, Ozone, Oark, Lake Ludwig, Harmony, Mount Vernon, and the areas in between, internet just $49.95 per month with Wave Rural Connect and Arkansas Valley Electric. We're going to wrap the first hour of halftime up right after this, so go anywhere.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Bost here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only 2 means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these 2 ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all 3 will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams.
Dreams come true.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Give me now. All you fellas, gather around me and let me give you some good advice. What I'm gonna ask you now. You'd better think about it twice. While you're lying, cheating on your woman, there is something you never even thought of. Now tell me who's making love to your old lady.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Wrapping up the first hour of halftime. Let's go to the phones. Cody held through the break. Cody, how are you, man? Good to hear from you.
Hey, it's been a while, guys. How are y'all doing?
What's up, Cody? Doing well.
Doing great.
Matty T, how are you?
I'm doing great, Cody. Thanks for asking.
Bless. Hey, first off, Mr. Reverend Barrett.
Yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm happy.
You don't have to add the Mr. when you start with Reverend. One or the other will work just fine.
But I'll take the double respect.
Can you show me a little respect, please, and not call me out on the radio broadcast? We're on ESPN, guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Phil. Come on, Phil.
He's just being polite. Cody's just being polite. I'm just being myself.
Right. Hey, you're not scared to show it, and I wish I was like that. You know, more comfortable with myself, I guess. And then also, I've been out for a while. I haven't talked to y'all. Been out of town for a little while. Clay Henry's retiring from Hogs Sports Illustrated. Is he still going to be on the radio and do stuff like that? Because it's always good to hear his insight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. He'll still be on the morning rush. He'll still be coming on halftime. You'll still hear his voice. And I know he's still going to be. He said he's going to be writing a column in each Hogs Illustrated. He's just not going to be involved in the day-to-day operation. Won't be covering games. Won't be won't be in the know in everything the way that he has been for all these years.
Yeah, and I don't want him to get big-headed, but I think I heard him talk about something to the effect of interviews and him being good at storytelling. I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that. Maybe him and Bo crossing paths again and him doing something like that. I also think he could take the approach of Trey Biddy, who's also really good at what he does. But I think Clay would be just as interesting to watch, hear insight, hear opinions on a YouTube stream or something like that as well. And then you guys have your podcast, so if you guys could incorporate Clay into that, that'd be cool. But I'm just saying what would be cool as a listener.
Ultimately, it's what Clay wants to do. He's the one retiring.
Yeah, the guys were now
he'll do as much as he wants.
Now
we
it's
can't force him.
Now he gets to choose what it is that he's going to write about. Like he'll be writing about some outdoors things, and the ability to like go elk hunting and write about it and then write the whole thing off is just a congratulations for a proper retirement. Is what I got to say.
Right. Yeah. It's well earned at that point. And then I heard something on the Morning Rush, Phil, Drew and Matty T too. I'm not sure about it. I really hope they're not considering downsizing that arena. I really hope they're not.
Bud Walton?
Mm-hmm, that's what he's talking about.
Yes. I really hope that they're not going to do that, Phil. I, as a fan, when you go into that arena packed like that, Drew, did you finally get to go to a game this past year?
Yeah, I went to 4 games at Bud Walton. Enjoyed it. Loved every second of it.
Yeah, and the Kentucky
there's
game.
Something to say when you,
It was amazing. It really was. We're coming up to the top of the hour, and I think I understand your point here, Cody.
Appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah,
take care.
It would all depend upon how much seating you're going to reduce the capacity by. If you really need to add, the suites need to be updated. I'm not here to say they're not, but will they be relocated? That's the other question. Or will they be relocated, some of them to the floor, like you see in some other basketball arenas? And smaller is the thing that is the way things are built now. So I don't know. Would it change the sound inside the building? Maybe so. Second hour of halftime right after this.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com. Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith is open and ready to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations available for ages 5 and up and the new second booster for ages 50 and up. These vaccines are safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Call 452-6116 to schedule your booster appointment or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunshine. Our high temperature is this afternoon in the low to mid 60s. We're looking at a chance of showers, a few thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low in the mid to upper 40s. Showers and a chance of some thunderstorms, especially early on Wednesday, are high in the middle to upper 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The Hit That Line podcast network is now available on Pandora Music and Podcasts. Just open your app or browser and search Hit That Line.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime. So good to be with you here on this lovely Tuesday across our great state. Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. It'll be a little bit ugly tomorrow, but we will have baseball today. Planning on baseball tomorrow. No doubleheader. Not going to do the doubleheader this week like last week. That's because Arkansas State is traveling today. So can't ask them to play the day that they're traveling just yet, I guess. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but today's going to be a beautiful night for a 6:30 first pitch, and I expect somebody to get their butts kicked. And I think they'll have wolves on their uniforms.
I was about to say, it might be a team in red, but that could be either team. So,
I think it's going to be an Arkansas team, though.
Probably will. You know,
I think an Arkansas team will win.
Arkansas
That's a good, put some money on that.
I will.
Arkansas is 12-0 against UALR, A-State, UCA, and UAPB. If you throw in,
is that this year or all together?
That's all together in the calendar year, in the last athletic calendar year.
Okay.
This is softball, baseball, women's basketball, football, and men's basketball. 12-0, and you know they're treating the in-state schools a little bit how Arkansas has treated LSU in this last athletic calendar year too.
Not with a lot of respect.
Baseball is 8-0. Well, let's say baseball, football, and the basketball teams are combined 8-0 against LSU. You throw men's golf in there. Men's golf beat LSU in match play 9-0. Throw in soccer. Soccer lost in the regular season to LSU, but beat them in the SEC tournament 10-1. Softball won 2 of 3 from LSU, 12-2. Men's tennis lost last weekend to LSU, 12-3. Women's tennis beat LSU last weekend, 13-3. Volleyball beat him in the regular season. Gym was defeated. Gymnastics, 14-4. Arkansas went against
That's
LSU.
pretty good.
That's called. Oh, we should pull up the scene from the movie Slapshot, when the French Canadian goalie always asks about who owns.
It's been a minute since I've seen that movie.
Who owns the state of Louisiana? The Arkansas Razorbacks do. Got that right. Feel good about that. Because every time Arkansas plays LSU in just about anything, like I feel like... Yep. That's the one. Arkansas owns LSU. And I feel there's more hatred, vitriol, jokes made about their fans from Arkansas fans than any other school. And that goes for Texas too. Like I feel like it goes for Texas because you play them more. You play LSU more. So revel in the success against the purple and gold, okay?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you hate the enemy you see the most. And it's hard to hate you if I never see you. You know, it's hard to think about you if you're never on my mind. You know, so you obviously have that disdain and that dislike, I think, more for the team that you see multiple times a year in multiple different sports. And what Arkansas has done against LSU in this last calendar year across all sports, I mean, that really is amazing. Against a very, very upper echelon athletic university like LSU. That's pretty incredible.
That is being investigated by the NCAA and the IARP and potentially FBI for Title IX problems and all of that. So their Arkansas success against them in those categories, I think, is just as important as well.
Yeah, that's the one scoreboard you want to have the least amount of points in.
Right.
NCAA investigations.
Fewer investigations.
Yes.
Fewer feds, running around campus.
Much rather they win that one.
Yeah, probably so. Charlie's giving us a call. You can do the same. 877-377-6963. Bubba Carpenter's at the bottom of the hour because, I don't know, I felt like bringing him on. I felt like talking to Bubba twice today. But Charlie's up first. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Loud
we hear
and
you
clear.
today. Is there anybody at work you need to communicate with other than us right now?
Hopefully not. That was a doctor that actually walked out yesterday, and I was actually sitting in my chair and on my lunch break, and she walked outside and was going to back up and run me over. So, I guess I may have should have just stayed there and let her hit me because maybe I could have got something from her since she's a doctor. So, quick girl. Anyway, Drew, I just want to congratulate you, brother, on your. I went back and listened to the show yesterday, and I didn't even know about it until dang, I got a spam call coming in. Anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you, man, on your engagement.
I appreciate it, Charlie. I appreciate it.
You didn't know about it because he kept it under wraps. Like he told nobody about this.
I was trying to play music that was hinting at it, though, at the end of the show.
You did on Thursday.
Yeah.
You played
Going to the chapel and they're going to get married.
Yeah. You tried to blow
I just was being a little sneaky.
When are you guys planning on doing that, though, like fully getting married? When is that going to happen?
End of June, early of July, between the end of the College World Series and SEC Media Days. So, therefore, some people don't have an excuse not to show up. Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie.
Yeah, where's it going to be at? In Arkansas or Tennessee?
It's be back in Tennessee.
Oh, yuck.
Well, here's my deal, though, Drew. Here's my deal, bro. You can't, I know she lives over there and all that, but, are you staying with us or are you going to bring her aboard to be a hog? What's the plan?
The plan she will be moving to the natural state as soon as she gets a job.
And she'll be able to screen print all her own Razorback gear and T-shirts.
Yes.
Like she's
Okay,
got
Drew,
the screen printing capabilities. This will be an easy transition.
Okay, cool. Because, I know it's been really difficult for Drew, but I think he's coming along. I get it, man. Hey, Memphis is home, but you got to make Arkansas at least 1B, at some point. I know
I'm trying. I'm trying. As soon as she gets here, she'll be a lot easier.
Drew's a hog now, and once you're a hog dog.
There's only one hog.
Is that what they say?
That's what I hear.
Houston Nutt said that. I met Houston Nutt. He was one of the nicest guys. About a year ago, he come down to the college here in Camden and talked, and one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. I was a little bit drunk, but we talked ball a little bit, and man, I learned a lot from him. He's an unbelievable guy, and he said, man, there's only one Razorback, just like he used to say. So ain't nothing. There's way too many Tigers, Drew. There's just way too many. Anyway, I did want to say this, Phil. I'm gonna be listening to you today. I listen to you call the base. I got you. What I do is I mute the TV. And I try to, catch the stream up, or you guys are a little bit behind. I want to hear your play-by-play as the game is going on. So, Phil, I hope you...
Best way to enjoy it for certain. But you're able to pull that off? Like I know a lot of people aren't able to pull off the perfect sync, and it drives them crazy.
I try my best, bro. I try my best, man, to do it, because y'all are a little bit behind. So I try to slow my TV down a bit and try to get it.
Well, tell you what, you text our text line. I'll keep that up during the game today. And if you're a little slow, then I'll call the pitches slowly. How about that? I'll try to sync myself up to you just to make you happy because you're always on halftime giving us a call. So I feel I owe you one.
No, you don't owe me nothing, man. Listen, I love this show. It's awesome. You guys make my day, and the Morning Rush, and just everybody that works for the Arkansas media. I do want to say something, though. I know a lot of people are kind of Phil, I don't know where you are with this, are a little bit frustrated, with how we threw the ball in a spring practice the other day. But, that is one day out of, and there were a lot of drops involved in this. So I don't want people to be so, I think last year in the spring game, I want to say we didn't throw the ball that well. And I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think people need to kind of pump the brakes with that. And also, I'm really excited about Drew Sanders. I know, it's early and things of that nature, but for him, the understanding of being able to be beside Bumper, and if we can have him and have him stay healthy, obviously, and be able to go that 4-man front and have 2 backers in there and 5 DBs, man, we're going to be a really good football team defensively. And he's for him to be able to catch in the league, not only is he fast, but he understands angles and how to get to the football. He seems like a really smart kid. Otherwise, he wouldn't have went to the University of Alabama. So I'm excited about bringing him aboard, and I'm hoping he continues to improve and fits in well for us. With that, I'll hang up and listen, guys. And again, congratulations, Drew. All blessings for you, brother.
I appreciate it.
And for you and your, don't you mess this thing up either.
I'm going to try not to.
It's always our fault. It doesn't matter if it really is our fault. It is always our fault. Anyway, all right, guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Charlie. It's always
it's
always good to hear from you. I think the phone calls that Charlie makes to our show are the most comfortable moments of his day. You get the sense at some point he might forget that he's on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really do appreciate his. That'll be fun today. So I'll have to be 5 seconds late on every pitch. You'll hear the pitch hit. Bubba will look at me.
Go. You know how this works, right?
It's be like Enrico Palazzo doing, working the plate. I'll be Enrico Palazzo as the broadcaster. Strike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. 877-377-6963.
By the way, the fiance texted. She is listening to the program right now. She said, not a big chance of her calling the Hogs. Roll Tide, baby.
How did that feel?
Boy.
How did that feel saying fiance now?
Feels good.
Sounds like she might have chosen violence to our listeners.
Well, her parents are both Alabama alum, so you got to give her a pass on that.
All right. Well, this should be a lot of fun. Get her to move a little earlier than previously, and then we can maybe start that transition moving, or lack of transition, because she sounds like she's dyed in the wool, Crimson Tide. Oh, boy. Going to be lots of fun. Stay with us.
Between hell and high water, I need that cure to make it through. Hey, dancing. Nothing left for me to do but dance. All these bad times I'm going through, just dance. Hey, got candy in my ears tonight, baby. You know, I'm gonna dance.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only 2 means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these 2 ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all 3 will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even...
Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Drew Sanders. He's a huge asset to the team. I mean, what he brings on the defense side of the ball is just great. He's always around the ball, fast in space, make plays, a guy that will come down in the box and will hit you, will thump you. So, I mean, just him just come to the Arkansas Razorbacks, and just what he brings is awesome.
I mean, I have to block him most of the time, but, I mean, I've been out, but I've watched. And, I mean, the man flies to the ball. Drew, I mean, he sniffs it out, and he goes 110 to the ball, and he's hard to block in space. I mean, he does this little swim move, and I don't know, it's been getting everybody. It almost got me today. So, like, I don't know. He just flies, and he's athletic. I haven't seen anybody move the way that he does. And in space, I mean, it's hard to block when somebody's flying at you and can juke you out or just run through your face. So, I mean, he has a knack for the ball.
That's KJ Jefferson and Trey Knox speaking about one of the three major transfers that the Hogs have gotten on the defensive side out of the SEC, too. Of course, Drew Sanders coming from Alabama. He was the top recruit in the state of Texas when he signed with Alabama. And, man, he was a starter in 2021. They had an injury at linebacker, and Sanders slipped into the starting role for a few games before going down with an injury himself. He was a fairly productive linebacker. that said that he chose Arkansas first and foremost because he thought he'd have to play more standing up than with his hand in the dirt, and that's what he's going to do here. Sam Pittman told us a few weeks ago on this show he's going to be playing on the inside. 6'5", 244 pounds, and you've been dealing with undersized linebackers, successful, good linebackers for these past couple of years. There's nothing undersized about Drew Sanders, but he's got all the speed and moves that you would expect from somebody that was this highly recruited, and I think is productive when he was healthy at Alabama.
And that's what makes him such a good linebacker, such a good get out of the transfer portal, is because you talk about the speed. You know, what a linebacker needs to do. He's really, job number one is control the run game. You know, clog up those holes. Not let those running backs be able to bounce outside. If you're playing outside, hold containment, help out the defensive ends. But when you bring in the speed aspect and a guy that can cover the pass as well as he can and can chase down literally anyone on the field, man, he's going to be special to watch. If he can stay healthy, oh, boy. Watch out. This is going to be everybody's favorite player by the middle of October.
Yeah, and it's exciting to hear somebody talk about, from the position that would have to block him quite often, and Knox, Trey said he hasn't been on the field very much, but he's been able to watch and is impressed with the swim move, the swim move first and foremost. There feels like there's going to be more of a pass rush specifically from linebackers too. Like I don't remember the name of the new defensive end that transferred in from Georgia Tech, but if Landon Jackson is healthy and you get a couple of guys off the edge, and if you have developed your one-on-one cornerback that you can leave on that island and you can utilize a blitz, sounds like Drew Sanders is going to be the guy that's going to come from the linebacker position. And with that speed, if you've got the lockdown one-on-one cornerback, then your sack totals could skyrocket like from last year. And that was, defensively, that's a little bit of what was missing from the past 2 years. Good tacklers, make plays on the field, but not necessarily getting to the quarterback on a consistent basis. It would change things dramatically, and Drew Sanders is a part of that equation, a major part of it. Now you got to find who this lockdown one-on-one cornerback is going to be, and it sounds like it may end up being Latavius Brini. So I think you've got the pieces of what you want for a little bit more of a dynamic defense.
You really do, and the thing is, especially the way that football is played nowadays, how offense is viewed as sexy, as offense is viewed as the superior side of the football. We kind of forget about everything that goes on with defense, right? I mean, we talked with Alyssa Orange about this last hour. We asked probably 4 or 5 questions about the offensive side of the ball, and what do you think of Drew Sanders? But when you look at that part of that side of the ball for Arkansas this coming year, man, they're going to be deadly. I mean, just you feel very good in every aspect of the game, from what you're getting back from last year, what you're getting back from injury in Catalan, what you're getting out of the portal with Sanders, and everything you're hearing out of the spring. This team's going to be dominant. I mean, they are going to be a really good team. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to finish with a 9-4 record, because you've got just as tough of a schedule as you did last year, and you're going to need some things to go, the ball to bounce the right way, of like most seasons in the SEC West. But I can tell you one thing: this team ain't going to get shut out, ain't going to get blown out by nobody. Every game is either they're going to win or they're going to lose very close. Nobody's blowing this team out.
And let's hear Sam Pittman on a couple of the injuries that might affect Arkansas moving forward that occurred during the spring scrimmage.
Yeah, Torian, I think, is going to be okay, but in other words, I think he does have some type of injury. I don't think it's an ACL or anything like that. I think there is something there that we've got to tend to. I don't know, but I don't think it's a major injury. And then Warren Thompson, he left the scrimmage when he hit his head on the turf. And so I'm not for sure if he's in concussion protocol or he just was, ears were ringing for a while. I don't know. But those are the only two that I can think of right now. And I may be wrong, but those are the only two I can think of.
Carter is somebody that at times stood out last year at the tackle position. And JT asks about, all right, you hear a lot about the idea of the pass rush. What about the interior defense? Torian Carter could be a huge part of that. Bumper Poole is still a big part of that because he is a run-stopping linebacker. And then the development of a Chris Paul, Jordan Crook. We've heard of these two guys quite a bit. They're going to be pretty important in the ability to stop the run moving forward. Because Sanders also on the inside, like he's going to do both. I imagine we're not going to see Drew Sanders come off the field too often.
No,
if and hopefully and when he's healthy throughout this year.
Well, he's just a Swiss Army knife type of player. He's a guy that can do it all. And the thing is, he's got to stay healthy. It's the same thing with everybody else. You need to get that luck. You need to take side of the injury bug, and anything can happen with this team. It is fun to look ahead. It is still a long ways off. We still got to finish football, or we still got to finish baseball, and then dive back fully into football. But just on the surface with this team, and Pilot Mike brings it up, it's nice to have a reliable kicker coming back too. You look at Cam Little, kicking the ball too, that saved some games for you this season, like that Mississippi State game. You're feeling pretty good as of April 19th. Now, unfortunately, you don't play games on April 19th, but you feel pretty good.
Good to feel good on April 19th. Yeah.
It does.
See how we feel November 19th. Because in November 19th,
you've played some games.
We'll be feeling really good about Arkansas baseball.
Yes.
Well, then at that point, we'll say, well, let's see how we feel on April 19th when we're talking about never mind. I got myself twisted up there. Hey, you got a lot of Major League games going on, NBA playoffs. You can get all the best odds on any of those games right now at BUSR.com. Plus, there's a live casino and race book, so you can even get in on blackjack or any other sports at BUSR.com. And ESPN Arkansas listeners qualify for an exclusive 100% deposit bonus just by going to busr.com/morningrush. If you put in $100, you get $100, and the rest of the math works exactly the same way just by going to busr.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence, bet with BUSR, and talk with Bubba Carpenter, because that's happening next on Halftime.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Racing fans, the road to the roses has started. Where are you going to bet? BUSR, of course. Win, place, show, you name it, they got it. You can even place future wagers on the Kentucky Derby today and lock in fantastic odds. Besides horses, you can bet on sports and play over 300 casino games at BUSR. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus. Go to busr.com/morningrush. That's busr.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see. At Williams Tractor, now WT Equipment in Springdale, with its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super room lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by WT Equipment in Springdale today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
Save thousands during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 350 new and pre-owned vehicles were damaged during the recent storm, and now over $1 million in discounts will be passed on to Harry Robinson's customers. Some of the damage is really minor, but the savings are severe. Plus, there are still lots of vehicles that were not damaged in stock. Save thousands on your next vehicle during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Community, where you create a home, you shop, you play, you cheer. At Wave Rural Connect, we live in the same community as you. You might see our employees in the grocery store, at the park, maybe the ball game. Wave Rural Connect is here to enable this community that we love with fast fiber internet, TV, and phone right here in your town, along with friendly local customer service. Go to waveruralconnect.com or call us at 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out more. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Extended. Breeden RV's tax time sale has extended until April 30th. That's right. We will pay up to $1,000 of your state sales tax on all new inventory from now until the end of April, and you will still get to take advantage of discounts up to $20,000 off new travel trailers and up to $30,000 off new fifth wheels. All come with Breeden RV's exclusive maintenance for life at no extra charge. We also want to buy your used RV, so come see us today at Breeden RV in Van Buren or BreedenRVs.com. While supplies last, see dealer for details.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has two locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I feel so unsure as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, something in your eyes calls to mind a silver screen and all its sad goodbyes. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
This will be the first time I've heard this version of this song. Ain't going to be the last time. Bubba Carpenter joins us, former Razorback baseball great and part of the broadcast crew that you can hear later today along with me. Bubba, would it be more palatable if I sang Careless Whisper the way you just heard it?
You know, I didn't think it could get any worse, Phil, but that was pretty bad. I don't know who that was. I like your version better.
Okay, well, I'll take that under advisement. So Arkansas's got the same conference record as they did last year, 11-4. It's just that there's a team in front of them as far as the overall league standards are concerned, because Tennessee is got a little bit of the feel of 27 Yankees. But I feel like you could actually make a case that there's more stability for this year's Arkansas baseball team. Now we've got the full season from last year to go by, and so there's that. I didn't get to Omaha, so we know that first and foremost. It feels like this team, because of deeper pitching and because you've got trust now in lefty and righty pitchers in both the starting rotation and in the bullpen, like, you can't overstate the importance of what that means to have good pitchers in the rotation and the bullpen, multiple lefties, multiple righties. There's a really good base for how to win games for this team right now.
No, I think so, but let me ask you a question. I know it's your show. You get to ask questions. But do you judge a team off of whether or not they made it to Omaha, or do you judge them off of the statistics and the players and all that? Like what's your qualifications for how good is a team?
You know, I mean, I look at a team last year that was a great baseball team because I can only imagine great baseball teams win the regular season championship in the SEC and the SEC tournament. And the fact that they didn't make it to Omaha doesn't make them not a great team. But there was one flaw. There was one flaw, and it's that there wasn't enough depth of pitching. And I don't know if that's the reason why they lost to North Carolina State. It's just that NC State pitched very well in that series, and the bats kind of were a little bit quiet. I do think last year's team was great. I think there's a little more like lasting power. We're trying to project a team. Do you think they can make it to Omaha? I think this team's got what it takes, and I think pitching's at the top of the list.
Oh, I think so. You know, you started with starting pitching, and look at our starting pitching, Phil. It's ridiculous. If you compare this year's to last year, no knock against Wicklander and Lockhart and them, but I mean, this year's starting pitchers, I mean, we're getting so much more out of them, which is able to save our bullpen. But now the bullpen pieces are starting to come together. You mentioned the two lefties. Evan Taylor's been great. Zach Morris was awesome the other night. If we can keep getting that out of him, and then we've still got Brady Tigert, Zeb, Cole Ramage, and then there's other guys that still haven't figured it out. I talked to Michael Turner last night about Mark Adamiak, and he agrees with me. That guy looks like a major league pitcher. He's got major league stuff. He just hadn't put it together yet. So there's all the pieces there. But if you look position player wise, look at what we have now compared to last year, and you're like, well, you know, if you want to look at third base, I mean, last year you had Colin Smith and Jacob Nesbitt kind of rotating at third base. I love both those guys, but now you got Caden Wallace playing there every day. Michael Turner, you know, we all love Casey Opitz, but look at Michael Turner. If you look at Casey's number from last year, he hit 257 with 2 home runs, 367 on base percentage. But now he handled the pitching staff great, and he did all the things that Casey does, great leader. But Michael Turner's kind of stepped into that role. Plus, he's hitting 344 with 5 home runs, 560 slugging, 419 on base percentage. Plus, he handles the pitchers well, and they love it. So there's a whole lot of, you can look at if you look at it all, starting pitching, position players, and I could go on and name, you know, the other guys. Braden Webb, I could compare him to Christian Franklin, obviously. You can go on and on, but on paper and what we've seen so far, and this team haven't even peaked yet, this team's better. It really is. I feel like last year's team almost took on kind of like a king in his court. I don't know do you even know what that is?
Yeah, I remember that. That was the softball guy. That was the one pitcher with like a first baseman, a shortstop, and a center fielder. Was that it?
Yeah. They used to come and play at minor league ballparks when I was working up the ladder, and the guy was incredible. He was kind of the Kevin Kopps. And then they had a big third baseman that dropped bombs and a shortstop that could catch a ground ball and throw it to first. But no one ever hit the ball, really. But, you know, it was kind of the team last year kind of, you know, I don't want to take anything away from some of the guys on the team. I love a lot of the guys on last year's team. But, you know, without Kevin Kopps, we don't win all those series that we won last year. There's probably 5 of those games that we don't win in the SEC, I think. But I guess to answer your question, I'm kind of beating around the bush. I like this year's team. I think when everything comes together and it's all said and done, this is a better team this year.
And Bubba, tonight taking on A-State today and tomorrow, has the newness and nostalgia kind of worn off of playing in-state schools? And when you were at Arkansas, how big of a deal was there ever actually any, you know, talk of wanting to play against then they were the Indians, I'm guessing, back then. So, I mean, how big of a deal still is it?
Okay, for me it's a big deal because a lot of the kids that are at Arkansas State, UCA, UALR, UAPB are kids that I've watched grow up and play in Northwest Arkansas. You got to remember, I've been kind of I've been training kids for a long time. I'm out there in the showcase circuit, so I get to see a lot of these kids. Caden Wallace, Jackson Wiggins, kids like that grow up in baseball, and then all these other schools. I see a lot of kids that are at these schools that I've watched play since they were 10 years old. Now I get to see them on a college stage. For me, that's really exciting, but I think I view it different than most fans do. I think for a lot of the fans, I think the newness is kind of worn out. but I love it. I absolutely love it. Every time I get in a ballpark and I see another Arkansas school and I look down the roster and I'm like, yes, I know him. I know him. I know him. I know him. A lot of them already know. I've already texted a couple of kids from Arkansas State, to see how they're doing and looking forward to seeing them tonight during batting practice. And so for me, it's still exciting.
Yeah, and I think it should be. I mean, it's you want to play against the guys that you grew up playing against. You want to play against people that are in state that. And I know Arkansas has a lot more to lose than they do to win tonight by beating Arkansas State, but it's still it's nice to play those regional type of matchups. And you talk about being in the community and coaching, doing on a showcase level. Phil keeps bringing up this building of fields. You build baseball fields?
I have a field at my house. And
it wasn't like he bought a house that had a field next to it. He had to make this baseball field.
Yeah, like you Field of Dreams it. You built it, they came.
You know what? Hey, it's a lot like Field of Dreams because I haven't planted my corn yet, but in the fall when the corn's growing out in the outfield in my food plot, it looks a lot like Field of Dreams. It's pretty cool. It's a neat little field. It's not Baum Walker or Yankee Stadium, but it's a neat little field. We actually had a scrimmage game there yesterday. A couple of our youth teams came out, had a scrimmage game there, and it's beautiful out there. It's on the river. Now I don't have lights or anything yet. I think Phil's gonna donate lights one of these
nice
days.
Yeah,
he's
I'll stand there with my phone
like
for you. If you need a spotlight or something. I'll tell you another way that this is like Bull Durham, Bubba. It's because or not Bull Durham. It's like Field of Dreams. It's because I know, just like Ray Kinsella in the movie, you always have a voice in your head. Like you're always hearing voices. Was it the little man on your shoulder that said, "Build it and they will come"?
You're right. Little man keeps talking to me. But you know what? The only thing I've got in my head right now is that damn song you played in the intro. So I'm struggling with that right now. But by game time, little man will be back on one shoulder. You'll be on the other, Phil. So you're still a big part of the voices in my head, unfortunately.
It's like it's like so much upkeep, man. I mean, we get all impressed when we're watching Dave Van Horn sweep the dugout, but that doesn't take as much time as it takes to mow an entire field. What do you think Bubba Carpenter was doing today before he came on halftime? He was mowing an entire baseball field by himself. I mean, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and a lot of love. Like, you don't build a baseball field at your house unless the game is sort of ingrained inside.
Well, what kind of dimensions you got out there? We got a short right porch, or what are we doing? Good dimensions all the way around?
Well, I've got it marked off for the younger kids right now. So I've got a 200-foot fence marked off, and then I go out to 300 and I have that marked off. And then anything beyond that's just bonus. But I want to know right now. It's more for a lot of the younger teams use it, and so they want to know where the 200-foot mark. My 10-year-old can't wait to hit one 200 feet. I told him I'll give him $20 when he hits it past the 200-foot fence, and so he's trying real hard. So every time there's a north wind, he wants to go out and hit the ball because he's pretty smart. He understands that it goes a lot farther when the wind's to his back. So he's gotten within about a foot so far, but he hadn't quite earned the $20 yet. But hey, you know what, guys? I love doing what I do. I'm fortunate enough to be able to teach kids to play baseball, but I want them to be on a good field. We have a couple other fields. I just got done mowing one of our other fields and dragging it because the last thing I want is for a ground ball to come up and hit a kid in the nose because the field's in bad shape, and then that kid ends up not liking baseball and ends up playing soccer or something. So, and it's just because I didn't go out and take time to drag the field. And so I wanted the field to be nice. It's fun to go out on a nice field. I grew up in Winslow, Arkansas, and I used to pull rocks up around first base area the size of my foot, and so it wasn't always fun.
I wish I would have had a Bubba Carpenter in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Even though you drive me crazy sometimes, I wish I would have had a Bubba Carpenter growing up in Pittsburgh, PA, because we played on the absolute worst fields. Like one of the high schools that's not even a high school anymore. I'm not kidding here, Bubba. There was a gravel track running through shortstop.
Oh, gosh.
A gravel track running through shortstop. And if you hit the ball over the center fielder's head, it would roll all the way through a swing set and a jungle gym and everything. I'm guessing you don't have a jungle gym out on your baseball field or any gravel.
No jungle gym. I do have a pond out in right field. If you hit it into the pond, it's a home run.
So pool or a pond? Pool or a pool? A pond would be right for you. So did you get any fair poles for your field, or did you get it? There's no yellow poles there.
There will never be a fair pole on my field. I might eventually have foul poles though. So, and I'm sure we'll discuss that more tonight.
Can I have? Did you build a press box for us? Can I come and do and sit there and fake calling pitches at Bubba's house and your field?
You come on out. I'll find a place for you to sit. You know.
It's great.
Hey, where's Drew at on the fair pole foul pole thing? I don't ever hear y'all arguing about it.
I try to just leave it alone. I kind of just let him have his moment. But if I mean, gun to the head, it's a foul pole.
Yes, I like it.
It's what it's always been.
Look, I mean, I have accepted the idea that I will lose the poll every time. It's at least an 80-20 split. At least 80-20 split of people that will much rather go with foul pole than fair pole. But that's only going to make me just harder in my position. And then it's just going to be that much more difficult for the rest of you when the rule book changes its language in like 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm dead and gone, it's going to be impossible for the rest of you to actually go with the way that it will be, which is fair pull. But for now,
if you do
I'm
that,
80-20 and I'm the 20.
If that ever happens, Phil, I'm just going to call them the Phil polls.
Fine with me.
Just call them the Phil polls.
Oh man.
There you go. If that ever happens while I'm still alive, I'm going to start coaching soccer. I don't think I can. I don't think I can stay with baseball. If baseball goes that far the wrong direction, I'm out.
No polls in soccer. That's right.
Or
right,
a
Bubba.
coaching bracket. Hey, we haven't even brought up the coaching bracket. We'll get Drew's opinion on that later.
Oh, man. Bubba, see you in a few hours, okay? I plan on – Bubba always wants to know what time to get into the ballpark. Let me think about it here. 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I might get there like 3:30, okay? Will I see you before or after?
You will see me a little bit after 3:30.
I love days.
But
when
I'll
I
be
get there
ready
before
for you. I'll have my game face on, Phil.
Appreciate you, man. It's always fun to
All
talk
right,
with
see you
Bubba
guys. Go
Carpenter.
on.
Hey, appreciate it, Bubba.
And we'll make sure we both get our pregame PB&J down. Well, he doesn't eat his before the game. I'll eat mine before the game. But now it's both of us. Yes, I will be just a tiny little bit superstitious because the Hogs have won every single game that I've eaten an Uncrustable, okay? All right?
If you're
Is that
winning
okay?
because of the Crustable, or you're winning because you're not at the Crustable, you are.
We're on a good broadcast streak because of the Uncrustables. That's what
Okay.
it's all about. Yeah. All right, I got to eat an Uncrustable during this commercial break so the rest of the show doesn't stink.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Looking for something a bit lighter for lunch or dinner? Art's Barbecue and Burgers has added blackened or grilled tilapia to the menu with all of your favorite sides. If catfish is what pleases your palate, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's Barbecue. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has it all for your lighter lunch or dinner or your weekend pig out. And don't forget $1 off all burgers every Saturday. Call 452-2550 for to-go orders. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Taco. Grande.
Yo quiero chimichangas y chili carrero. Yo tengo el dinero para un steak picado. Las latas y tamales siempre muy bueno. Y el chili relleno.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
If any of our salespeople at ESPN Arkansas are listening, if we could work on getting an Italian restaurant sponsor, that would be great, so that Maddie could play Weird Al's wonderful homage to
La Bamba
called Lasagna. Because right now, we're talking about Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. And today's Tuesday, so just like the song celebrates, it's Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday!
$1 crispy tacos all day long. $2.25 pork carnita tacos, $3.25 for brisket or pork belly tacos, and just 75 cents for your sides of beans or rice. Get a Busch Light draft for $1. That's all day long at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. And guess what? Razorback baseball on TV tonight at Joe's Grill and Cantina. And that means half-price apps and taps during the game. You can order online, joesfortsmith.com, or just download the Waiter app or give them a visit across from the Harps in Fort Smith, Joe's Grill and Cantina. Does Weird Al do any Buffalo Wings sort of jokes, songs too? Because if so, then we could celebrate this new NIL deal.
We gotta celebrate
that John Daly II has with Hooters, which of course how did this not happen the day after NIL became legal for college athletes? How did this not already get planned? And here it is, it's like 10 months after college athletes could make money off their NIL.
I mean, I actually have no idea how it's just now that John Daly II is getting this NIL deal with Hooters. And it's actually the first father-son duo NIL agreement for a college athlete. So it'll be John Daly and then John Daly II will both be a part of this deal. And of course it's with Hooters. And Did you expect anything else?
No.
Did you expect any other college athlete in the country to be the first Hooters athlete?
I'm just
than
surprised.
The offspring of John Daly?
I'm just surprised that it took this
Me
long.
too. Me too. This should have been all but signed, sealed, and delivered last July when all this went into play, when all this became a factor of NIL, which, once again, kind of hard to believe that we haven't even hit the year mark of NIL.
No, that's right. It's been 10 months. It was June.
End
of
of June
last year that it all started going. Well, I don't mean going down, because I don't think it's been a bad thing for sports or for college sports. But
the world's still spinning.
The world's spinning.
Buildings haven't fallen or crumbled. Kids are still going to school. The sun is still shining. And to a lot of people, 10 months of NIL deal was going to end the world. But here we are. All is right with the world because John Daly II and Hooters is a thing now.
There is the groundswell from highly prominent college coaches whose success and the brand that goes along with their teams, and I'm thinking Clemson and I'm thinking Alabama, like you would think they don't necessarily need the NIL collectives to get these kids on campus, but they're also, they're talking about the idea that there's players are being recruited to the NIL, to the money and these collectives that essentially represent the boosters for each school, and that's not what it was designed to do. So, and I'm not here to say that it's right or wrong one way or the other, but that's probably going to be the area where there's more control over NIL, because it's been wild, wild west. And once the NCAA figures out what they're going to be moving forward, because they still are in a position where the folks who run the NCAA don't really know what the NCAA is going to look like.
No.
That's what this whole committee that's chaired by Greg Sankey and Julie Cromer-Peoples is trying to figure out, what this giant organization will look like moving forward. So at first they'll do that, I think, and then figure out guidelines, I think, of NIL. And I don't know the direction that it can go, and I just when you read the tea leaves, that's going to be an aspect that changes. Players that are being recruited to schools based on the money they'll make when they get there.
Yeah, and for the Sabins, the Dabos, and everybody else in college athletics, it's just going to be something that you have to pivot towards. You're going to have to start playing the game. Just like the portal, Saban plays the portal just like everybody else. You're going to have to play the game. You want to win, play.
Just amazing that this whole thing with the Dailies and Hooters didn't happen the minute that the clock turned 12:01 back in June when this became a law. So, yeah, we won't see the orange on the course because he's still a college athlete. Back with you guys tomorrow. For Drew and Maddie, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.